It's like, no, but lose the up as part of this segment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Do you think I haven't? G'day, I'm Harry and welcome to the Loot Drop. I was having a chat with my mate Jamal the other day. Actually, oi Jamal.
Hey man, how's it going?
Oh yeah, this is Jamal. Jamal's a stand-up comedian from Sydney, and we were chatting about the new PlayStation 5 Access controller that has a heap of ways to make gaming more accessible, and it made me realise we've never really had a chat about accessibility. Now, Jamal, you play games?
I used to play a bit when I was younger, not so much nowadays.
What kind of games? What are you talking? Tell me the setup and everything.
All right, so when I was a kid, I had a Game Boy SP, which I loved. It was awesome. And I would play Pokemon games on it. And the way that I would play it is I would stick it under a CCTV, which is like a special device, a special magnifying device designed for blind people and vision impaired people. And what it would do is it would have a little tray, which I would put my game under, and then there'd be a camera on top, and the camera would then magnify my game and put it on a giant CRTV next to me. And even though I'd make it really big, it was super hard to play and like read. I still found it pretty difficult. And like my eyes would get super tired.
That's a cool way to use tech to make games more accessible. I don't know if you know this, but Nintendo was actually one of the first companies that led the charge in accessible technology for gaming with their hands-free controller that they released in the 80s. This controller allowed for players to use their chin for directional movement and sips and puffs for button inputs. And now Microsoft and PlayStation both have their own modular accessible controllers that allow for full button remappability and various inputs. That's a vast improvement on the first implementations of accessible controllers. But Jamal, accessibility in gaming is more than just a controller, right? Like the CCTV method you used. Hey, you had to set that up yourself. And I also heard about this Hearthstone thing.
Yeah, so often like accessibility isn't inbuilt in a lot of games. So, you know, you sort of have to be creative and adaptive and figure out what ways you can play it on your own. So with Hearthstone, Hearthstone can be made accessible through the use of a Python script, which you have to download from GitHub. You got to download it. You got to learn how to run a Python script yourself. So
wait, you say.
I know, right?
So to make it accessible to like a screen reader functionality thing, you've got to just learn how to code.
Pretty much, yeah. You got to at least know how to launch a script, which I don't know how to do. So I'm not even able to play it yet.
So people have made Hearthstone accessible for vision impaired players, but you have to learn how to code because this is all homebrew.
That's right. This is all like you know, grassroots, just blind gamers who know how to code, want to play this game, and so they've figured out a way to do it running Python. It's not supported by Blizzard, the manufacturer itself. It's totally independent.
So what happens if Blizzard updates Hearthstone?
So if they update the game, the people that write the script have to update it themselves, totally unpaid, and they just do it just because they're all volunteers and they just want to make the game accessible for everyone to enjoy.
So these people are doing free labor to make this game accessible. I wish Blizzard would do more to make Hearthstone more accessible because it's not impossible. These people are doing it, right? And there are software considerations too that game devs are thinking about more and more to make games more accessible. In the 90s, as closed captioning became more widespread in mainstream media, captioning became more common in video games and now pretty much commonplace in games today. Now, Jamal, have you seen media in general becoming more accessible?
I think so. It has become more accessible. It's sort of in the early stages of it, and things could definitely be improved. So, like with audio described content, it's basically what happens is they take a video or you know, a movie or whatever it is, and then they overlay a voiceover which essentially describes visual things that happen on the screen. And this is great. It's like super liberating when you get to watch a movie that you've never been able to enjoy before.
Can you give me an example of audio described content, like something you've seen and how it changed the way that you viewed it the first time with audio, without audio description and with audio description?
Yeah, so I recently watched The Truman Show with Jim Carrey, and I got an audio described version of it, and it was great because I was able to understand the movie better and enjoy more of sort of what happens on screen. So Jim Carrey is obviously like a super animated, you know, visual actor. And as a blind person, I miss a lot of that stuff, right? So having the audio description describe certain scenes and, you know, explain things that I might have missed the first time around watching it without audio description, like, you know, when there's like a camera hidden in the film and things like that, or like there's a scene where he's realizing that he's in a simulation, and spoiler alert, he's,
sorry for those of you who haven't seen the movie from the 90s, but yes, he's in a simulation.
Yeah, he's in a simulation. He's in the mirror and he's acting out in the mirror and he's being silly and ridiculous because he knows that it's all fake and none of it's real, right? And he does this silly act out that gets completely like all described through audio description. So it's awesome.
That's great. And games are only just starting to implement deeper accessibility options, like in The Last of Us Part 1, where you can include vibration cues for combat, for hearing accessibility, adjust the contrast for low visibility, as well as remap buttons for motor accessibility. Now, how do you feel about accessibility in games, Jamal, and where it's at?
I mean, look, I think it's a lot better than where it was when I was a kid, right? Because it was all your own adaptions, it's all on your own, right? And like now manufacturers themselves are starting to implement, you know, accessible menus and like high contrast themes and things like that. So it's a lot better than it was, but again, we're still in the early stages of it. So I can't wait to see what happens in the future and how far it's going to go.
All right, Jamal, final question. If games were more accessible, would you play more of them?
Yeah, 100%.
It's that simple. All right, Jamal, so I thought it'd be fun for us to play a game that's built for accessibility. This is the Vale Shadow of the Crown, and it follows Princess Alex, who's blind and lost, and she's trying to find her family again. And also, she's got a sick sword. So, how does that sound? There you go. So, you pull the right trigger to start the game.
Yep.
Yep. So this part is like
Alex,
flashback.
pay attention.
Yes, Uncle.
Now, as a blind fighter, you will be well served to have a shield. Now take it here with your left hand,
It's heavy.
as it should be. Now, this time, when I swing at you, I want you to raise your shield.
Hold the left stick in the direction of your target to block.
Are you ready?
Sure.
Raise your shield. Raise your shield.
So we've got audio cues telling us what to do. The left stick is for blocking, the right stick's for hitting, but the enemy moves around the player directionally. So the enemy's on the left side, on the right side, hitting, and so we're putting a combination of shield blocks and attacks at the same time. So how was that?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I saw you get into it because before you were sitting back like whatever, and then you changed positions.
Yeah,
you were like, okay,
getting in the zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it requires a bit of like concentration. You got to
Yeah.
hear where the guy's like stepping off to. So it's pretty cool. You can hear his footsteps.
Yeah.
And then like you hear the attack, you block it. It's pretty intuitive. That's kind of cool.
All right, we'll need to get to the river.
So this game's cool because as you move, the footprints for different surfaces make different noises. You can hear sometimes a creak on your left to give you a sense of direction. So what's happening now?
Hey, look what I found.
What is this?
The shield you requested.
Jamal, talk me through what's happening. How many people did you kill?
I think all of them.
All of them.
I can't hear anyone else. So
How many people did you feel like you were fighting at once? It sounded hectic from my side.
Yeah, so it's pretty intense. Like I don't know. Like yeah, obviously they come from like left, right, and in front.
Yeah.
And yeah, you got to like decipher the sound between them, like swinging their weapon so you know when to block.
Yeah.
And like the ambience sounds so good. Like you can hear the fireplace, like the things around you.
Yeah.
Like super high quality recordings. This is great.
So the quality recordings, I didn't notice that when I played it. Yeah, obviously that's really important, but for immersion, high quality recordings matter so much. I was taken aback when I first started playing this game in how immersed I got into the experience, because it also made me think about what I take for granted when I play a game. And I fell in love with having to assume a different style of gameplay. I thought it was really challenging and fun in a way that I didn't expect.
Like obviously this is like, it's like an audio recording, right? So it's like when someone's off to your left, like you could totally hear they're directly to the left, and so far they're either directly to the right. I don't know, maybe as you progress onto the game, maybe they are like slightly to the left and like slightly to the right or whatever.
Oh, so you're saying that...
So it's at the moment, it's literally looks like you get attacked from the left, or the right, or directly in front.
Right, so it's not as nuanced in direction like northwest as opposed to north or west. It's just like fully forward, left and right.
Yeah, it's fully locked to a grid for the time being. So I don't know if maybe as the game gets harder, they do that sort of thing. But yeah, in real life, like that's kind of how you do things. Like if you're walking along a footpath and you know, the main road is on your right, the way that you know to keep straight is you just keep the sound of traffic constantly passing on your right. So it's not too dissimilar from like how you really navigate around in like real life. So it's pretty interesting.
Yeah. And I imagine sword fighting.
Sword fighting is not a part of my day-to-day activities. I do carry a cane around.
Shield? Oh, you have a cane.
I got a cane, and
That's
you know,
right,
occasionally there's unwanted combat with like strangers. You know what I mean? Just like hitting their legs by accident. But yeah.
Jamal, can't wait for you to do our favourite segment where we share news too small to elaborate on, but too big to ignore. It's barely news. Go, Jamal.
All right, the Borderlands movie is set to release next year in August 2024.
That's right.
There we go.
Go, Jim, you.
It's barely news.
Great Australia has announced a gaming fund of over $1 to $3 million for select Aussie games.
Barely news.
Ubisoft will delete your Ubisoft Connect account if you haven't been active on it for a while, and Ubisoft says it's got to do with data privacy and the blah, 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 blah. But the thing is, if you bought games on there, they'll all be lost. It's barely news.
Oh, I'm back again! Speaking of Ubisoft, at a panel at San Diego Comic-Con, Ubisoft teased that Star Wars Outlaws might have a cooking system. So, G up for more of this gross stuff. Oh, it's so much
Green
worse
milk.
than I thought it was going to be.
It's barely
Barely news.
That's the loot drop coming out this week.
Stray Gods, the roleplay musical, coming to PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and PC.
And Bemba on PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and PC. Thanks for coming in, Jamal. And where can people find you if they want to see your comedy?
Yeah, they can check me out at the Sydney Fringe Festival. You and I doing a split bill.
Yeah. Hey.
September 6th, September 8th. Get onto it.
Yeah, and we've got weekly content coming out. We're going to stream on Thursdays, 4 p.m. Follow us on TikTok, on YouTube, and let us know what gaming topics you'd like us to talk about. Jamal, what topic would you like us to talk about?
More accessible gaming.
Hey, Jem, what topic?
Oh,